Alright everyone, so for today's lesson we're going to actually use addition and subtraction to solve one and two-step equations. Here's the agenda for today. First we're going to explain, and then we're going to do the demo, and then we're going to practice, and then you're going to get to practice. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing is, what are word problems? Word problems are sentences that describe a numerical equation. So those are those numbers that we see that have plus and subtraction signs. Yeah, word problems are the word form of that. You can use a word problem to create a numerical equation and then solve it. Let's try one. Alright, so here's an example. Mary had 3 little lambs. Um, But two little lambs ran away. How many lambs does Mary have now? All right, so here's our little numerical equation. We have 3 minus 2. So remember, we had 3 little lambs when we first started. 2 of them ran away, so we can see that there with the 3 minus 2. And we only have 1 little lamb left. There's our circles. We can even label this. Give me 1 second. So there we have 3 little lambs, 2 ran away, and we have only 1 left. And there is an equation from a word problem. Let's try another one. Sean has 16 pairs of socks. His mother took 7 pairs away to wash them. How many pairs of socks do you think Sean has now? Alright, so there's our numerical equation. Let's label it. So there we have our bubbles. We have 16 bubbles. So that's 2 sets of 8 that I have, 8 bubbles on top and 8 bubbles on the bottom. And that's the original amount of socks that Sean had, which was 16. And so we're going to take away 7 pairs of socks. Alright, so we've taken away 7 pairs of socks. So how many socks do you think we have now, guys? Can I see some hands? So let's count it together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's correct. We only have 9 pairs of socks left. And there you have it. It's seriously that easy. Let's try some more. Alright, so we have more in this problem. This is called a two-step problem. There's more to do. Alright, so let's try this together. Mary Sue had 20 chocolate-covered eggs. Her mom gave her 9 more chocolate-covered eggs. But then her little brother stole 6 of them. How many chocolate-covered eggs do you think Mary Sue has now? Alright, so we know we have a couple of numbers to deal with. And we can actually represent that by putting it in an equation. Let's label that really quickly. So here is the drawing that we have represented. So Mary Sue had chocolate covered eggs. That's the first one. We labeled that. And she originally had 20. Then her mom gave her 9 more. And I have actually put the circles in 5. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And the second section with mom giving her 9 has 5 plus 4, which equals 9. And what do you think you have in total? So if we add the 20 plus the 9, what do you think we're going to have? That's right, we're going to have 29. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Let me point to that very quickly. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I'm sorry. 5, 10, 15, 20. Sorry guys, I didn't write as many bubbles. So let's count down together. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, we don't need to count that. We already know that we have 29. And so we're going to move on to the next problem. And so this is the first portion of that problem. This is one way to look at it. We're going to look at it now by breaking it up. So remember we had it in 3 steps. We had the 20 plus 9 minus 6. We're going to try to solve that this way now. So we know we have 20 plus 9 because the mom has given us 9 more. And so we have 29. But now the brother stole how many? 6. So how can we try to solve this? It looks kind of like a difficult problem here. Well, we know we can break it down by saying that 29 has 2 10s in it. We already know that because the 2 is in the tens place, so we know we have 2 10s. Alright, and then we have a 9 there, but if we just add one more, then it will be 10. And so it's going to be more of an even number. So we're really going to have only 20 plus 10 minus 6. Now this makes it easier for us to solve. Okay, so we know that we can subtract 6 from 10 because we know we're going to get 4. And if we just minus 1, because remember, we didn't have 10 to start with, we had 9, we're going to have 3. So it would be 20 plus 3. And then we have 23. So it's just different ways to look at this and understand how to solve multi-step problems. Let's try another one, guys. Alright, so Sean had 69 red Twizzlers. His friend Pete decided he did not want his Twizzlers and gave him 31 more. How many Twizzlers do you think Sean has now? Alright, so let's think about the numbers. So we're going to do this differently this time, guys. We're going to place the numbers on top of each other, and then we're going to solve. Okay, so we have 69 plus 43. So remember, Sean had the 69, and his friend Pete had the 40. Had the had the 31. Let me change that 1 second. All right, so my bad. So it's 69 plus 31. So remember, 69 came from Sean, and his friend Pete gave him 31 more. And so we're gonna look at this from top to bottom here. What's 9 plus 1? We all should know what that is. That's right, it's 10. Okay, but wait, we can't put 10 on the bottom, so let me show you what I'm trying to say. We can't put 10 here, right? Because only one number can be there. So what do we have to do? We actually have to put one number over here, which is called carrying. We're going to carry the 1 and put it on top of the 6. And because we still got to represent that 9 plus 1 equals 10. But we got to put it somewhere else because this can only hold one number. And then we're going to put the 0 down here. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, so there we've carried the 1 and we have the 0 in its place. And now we're going to add 6 plus 3. So we don't worry about the 1 just yet. We worry about adding 6 plus 3. And can anyone tell me what 6 plus 3 is? We just keep counting. So 6, 7, 8. So it would be 6, 7, 8, 9. And whoops, we have to add that 1 in because that's still a part of this equation. So now our total is going to be what? 100. Okay, so let's put that where we can see it. And there's our equation right there. So we carried the 1, we added it to the rest of the problem, and now we have our full answer, 100. So basically, Sean now has 100 Twizzlers to his name. Alright, let's try another one. Kitty has 52 stickers in her sticker collection. She sold 25 stickers to get cash at her local sticker convention. How many stickers does Katie have now? Alright, so like we did before, we're going to place the numbers on top of each other, but this time it's subtraction. Alright, so we're going to do 2. First, we're going to work from right to left. So 2 minus 5. Wait a minute, hold up. You can't take 2 from 5. So what do we have to do? So now we have to actually borrow. So we take 1 from the 5 and add it to the 2. So now we're working with 12 minus 5. Okay, so this seems a little bit difficult for us to figure out. But let's just make it a little bit nicer. So we're working with 12 minus 5, right? Okay, so we know that there's 10 in 12, right? So if we subtract 5 from 10, we're going to have 5. And then we add back the 2 in, and now we have 7. So we know now that 12 minus 5 is actually 7. So we've borrowed, we added to the 2, and we have our number. So now let's see what the rest of the problem has to offer. So now it's 4 minus 2, and that's 2. And now we have our number, 27. And that's how you borrow with subtraction. Good job, you guys. Alright, so here is our worksheet. Mixed addition, subtraction within 100. Let's try a couple of these. Ashley, Bob, and Clara are keeping score of the game they are playing. When a player wins a game, that player gets 5 points. If a player loses a game, the player has 3 points taken away. If it is a tie, every player gets 2 points. So let's try the first one here. Each of them has 20 points to start with. How many points do they have in total? So let's draw a diagram. We have Ashley, I believe it was, Bob, and Clara. And they each have 20, correct? So what's the total? All we got to do is count. So what's 2 plus 2 plus 2? Equals 6. And we put another 0 there because this is actually in the tens place. This is not in the ones place. So it will be 60. Good job. Alright, another one. Ashley wins the first game. How many points does Ashley have after their first game? Okay, so we know everybody has 60, but we know that Ashley herself, she has 20. So if you add 5 points into that, she now has what? What's 20 plus 5? You just push the 5 in the singles place, and you now have 25. Good job, you guys. I'm really proud of you. Okay, so the next worksheet that we have happens to be something that I want you guys to try on your own. It's called mixed addition and subtraction within 20. And I want you guys to try this at home for homework. Just problems 1, 2, and 3, and see what you come up with. Alright? Thanks again. Bye-bye.